This video is made for adult collectors. Hello Internet, I'm Roffy Rofftensive Recorder Offtensive. That's my name, don't wear it out. And I love Transformers. I also love Star Wars. Right now in particular, I really love The Mandalorian. I even got to watch the movie before it released with my girlfriend. And just like Astro Train, today is a special episode. The same day I found Astro Train, I also found the Star Wars crossover Mandalorian figure. On clearance too! It was a sign to pick them up. And with the movie finally coming out, I thought it was time to open them up. A quick look on the back shows the accessories, like the gun and the blast effects. I also didn't know this thing brought a shield. The alt mode on this is beautiful. The clear blue plastic used on everything is so Star Wars, and it ties the figure together very uniformly. Fresh out of the box, my first reaction was that I was surprised to see how sleek and slim this figure was. You can even see that I turned it around to check if there was something hidden away, like a backpack or something like that. But let's just get all the accessories off. This one here is the shield and the stand. It even has the mud horn on it. I really love the blast effects that come with this toy. The clear baby blue plastic is so Star Wars. Very light side of the Force, or like the holo projectors, or even like a Force Ghost. I even forgot that this thing brought a cape too. A lot of pleasant surprises with this toy. Let's ignore the rip in the cardboard because I forgot I own scissors for a second and get started on getting him free from his shackles. While I'm getting this guy out of the pack, I realize that he actually parts formed. The tail piece comes right off. Even though no one is a fan of parts forming, I don't think it really affects the figure at all. So now that he's free, let's see how he looks with his screen accurate blast effects. I think he looks really good with them on, but it starts to make the toy feel a little busy. My first negative thing about this figure is that the gun is way too small. Another note that I have is that the gray isn't as shiny or silver as I thought it was going to be. Maybe it was the plastic on the box or the art on the back that made it look a little bit more shiny than it really was, but expecting it to be shinier than it really is has been my experience with a lot of Mandalorian toys recently, but I think that's just a me problem, so it's not the fault of the toy itself. I'm still so blown away at how they can just tuck everything in so neatly in this figure. He's just so small. Okay, so let's get him transformed. I'm so excited to see how he turns out. While doing some research on this figure, this little cockpit can actually fit the vintage collection Grogu. But I don't think I'm gonna drop $12 at GameStop for this Grogu anytime soon. This is another negative I have with this figure, that it just doesn't bring a Grogu. So his transformation is really simple. You just need to flip these panels open and this is where his head is, but we don't need to move that just yet. Instead, we move on to the engines. They have this kind of cuff thing that once you get both off, all you need to do is flip the wings back and then close the panels back up. Now you can turn him back forward and flip his head out. Then once that's done, the whole piece here is gonna flip up, and this is super important. These little side bits fold out, not in. They should be facing the cavity so that you can put them in there when you accordion it up. So the final step for the chest is to get this tab into position by clicking it out. This has to be done first or it won't clear this accordion joint. Then you can spin it around, and now it'll tab into the neck. So something I missed in the instructions is that the wings actually fold back down to make this jetpack thing on the back. Now you're going to bring the engines up on this little stick and click it into the sides. This is going to make the arms. Now we're going to spin the whole arm around to make the pointy bit face up. Then his arm does the Optimus Prime thing where his fist is in the wrist. Now it's time for the legs, and this is where I had the most trouble. This area is very small, and you're supposed to flip out this little brown bit. Now that the leg bits are out of the way, the hips can unfold. I imagine this is how the Alpha Trion or the SS-86 Scourge's legs work. All that aside, we twist his waist around and refold his legs and adjust his feet, and his robot mode is done. The last thing we can do with this toy is with his guns. His tailpiece that parts forms actually turns into this big ass rifle, and it's kind of ugly. I really think it doesn't look like anything, and it's just one big flat color, and because it was a vehicle part, it's really big. So the small gun actually goes into this little holster on the side. It's a little difficult to get the gun in and out of there, but it looks great as just an accessory or small detail, and not so much in his hands. And to prove my point, this is him holding a medium-sized dark gray blaster from the SS-86 Astro Train. I think it looks great. A little darker gray and just a little bit bigger makes it look better. I completely forgot about the cape. So the cape has one big issue. It tabs into this little square on the back, but the articulation on the cape bumps into the jetpack, so it constantly falls out. My final thoughts on this figure are nothing but positive. This crossover toy has a lot of thought and love put into it, and his vehicle mode was incredible, and his transformation wasn't difficult at all and was actually very creative. The robot mode is very outlandish and just oozes Star Wars and classic Transformers. It's kind of like that weird art from the first movie. I'm not a big fan of the points on the shoulders either. It really seems to limit his pose ability, and it crashes into the head and everything else. The solid gray seems to be something people complain about on this figure, but what I really think the issue is that some of the details and paint get hidden away after the transformation. Like the details on the hood, the wings, and the jetpack, he also loses the second cockpit to parts forming. But this is a classic case of ignoring everything good because he has a lot of new colors after the transformation that just pop out. The brown on his joints and thighs really make it look three-dimensional, like he's actually wearing the armor on top. And the red maroon on his boots is also great. It's such a cowboy color, and it reminds me of Woody from Toy Story. His head has a lot of detail. It looks very comic style or even vintage animation. The chest keeps the perfect amount of stuff from the alt mode that doesn't make the figure look crowded, but also not bland. The blue of the cockpit, the yellow racing stripes, and the asymmetrical vents all make the figure look very Star Wars-y. And it also keeps that Transformers look, which is great because it truly feels like it's from both worlds. His waist is great too because they added the tool belt. The arms have good paint choices. The gold, silver, and sparkly blue shine and stand out. But what I think is the smartest choice is that on this figure, they painted the brown instead of using brown plastic. So this figure won't suffer from long-term plastic degradation. In the end, the Mandalorian Transformer crossover figure is the perfect crossover figure so far. But it retailing for $60 isn't exactly reasonable for this toy. In the past, I only ever saw it once and had the chance to buy it full price. But it was never a justified purchase, no matter how much I loved the Mandalorian. But I'm happy I picked him up in the end, and I feel like I missed out on having him for longer. But I'd probably had left him in the box. So it's good that I got him now in my unboxing era. So subscribe and stay tuned to see who I open next.